No more paint?
That's why not paint very early. White also, no. I need to buy also white.
Good morning. It's another super bright sunny day here in the Philippines at Las Contas del Mar. And as always, the work continues, but that's a good thing, you know. Keeps the mind and the body in good condition. So let me show you what we have going on here this morning. So I know it's kind of noisy, but we're getting ready for a pour here. We're gonna pour this column, this wall, that column, and that wall, all in one pour coming around. You see there's a gap here, and that's because it's gonna be like a little short wall. It's gonna have a bar top on top of it that we're gonna tie it and pour it directly in with that wall and out across the floor here at the same time. We've continued forming on down through here on the side as well, as I showed yesterday. But we're real close to having this ready to pour today. So we're hoping that we'll do a couple hours work on it here this morning, and then hopefully it'll be ready to go. What Miller's cutting here is he's slotting a board out to slip around all those pieces of rebar and a couple pieces of PPR that's right down there. That's going to be for some water going out to a dirty kitchen. So he's notching all of that out. We'll slip it on the side of that form for the column, and that'll give us an ending point of where we're going to pour at for today. Then just as soon as that is poured, we'll continue right on finishing up forming for this next section down through here. And as you see here, there's another gap, and that's because there's a complete wall that's going to come across right here that's going to divide between the utility room slash pantry and the kitchen there. Keeping it manageable. Keeping it manageable. We're not going to form up with 10 jillion pieces of plywood to form the whole upper floor of the house. My God, how much plywood would that be in material and cocoa lumber? Man, that would just be insane. And then a pump truck come out and just fill it all up at one time. Man, now your cost for the structure is just going to be out of this world. But by having a set amount of materials that you can keep moving, once we cast that and we pull those materials, they can go over here and say, like, start on the wall here at the CR with that same material, or back over here on the other side of the house with that same material. So I hope you see my point there in that. It's keeping the cost manageable. It's still strong. You're getting a clean job to the top, and you are giving a place for some seismic activity that you can actually have a little movement. And I did that down below as well. I made those places in it on purpose, right up by a column. This is one right here, right up by a column. And so then we're going to pour the column. It'll actually come on out and over here, and what it's going to do is give me a point that it can have a little slip, a little movement. Structure's moving, and it needs somewhere it can move without just boom and popping. And I mean, when it pops, concrete will just like explode, and you don't want that. Well, it's almost lunchtime here today, and I have been so busy running my tail end off. I tell you, can y'all tell I'm starting to lose like a little weight in my face and stuff? If I shaved, it probably would show up. I can feel it. I can smell the fat burning. Yeah, I smell like baboy. So nevertheless, today has been running. We're trying to prepare for a wall to pour upstairs, and it's actually going to make two walls, make a corner and two columns. So we got that ready, but it's so close to lunchtime. It's actually 20 minutes from it. I told them, let's don't start mixing nothing until after lunch. And I had to run Melinda over to the neighboring town to a LTO office, that's Land Transportation Office, for her to get her learner's permit. I'm in here doing a little homework. This is our vent hood from our old house, and there's nothing wrong with it, just needs a bath. There's the other parts to it here and down here on the floor. And this vent hood, I'm going to use it again upstairs. And I want the right correct height, and I want the correct power placement. This thing in our old house just had a cord hanging out in the air. It was just up there looking ugly, a nice vent hood with an ugly cord hanging out. And so I'm trying to get down perfect measurements of where to place my electrical for this up above, because Mock's going to work on that for me this afternoon as well. So I took it apart here so I can see how much space is behind the shroud, that I could put an electrical box in behind there and hide this cord away where you're not seeing it. Then the next thing I want to know is what the proper height is between the cooktop and the vent hood right there. That it gets, you know, the right kind of drawing the smells and the heat and everything away and the steam. So that's what I'm over here kind of doing a little Google research here right now for that very thing, seeing what the recommended heights are. You know, I don't know it all out of my head. It's saying here to mount your indoor range hood between 28 and 36 inches from the cooktop, and that, so then it says right here, and your outdoor range hood should be 36 to 42 inches away from the cooktop. So an indoor one and an outdoor one, they're getting different type of measurement for. So 28 inches to 36 inches. I just felt like when this was over in our old house that it was not drafting right, you know. I didn't like it. So it's not hooked up right now. I just mounted here to protect it while we're doing this building, because I went ahead and removed it out of the old house. So see, it's at where I just kind of eyeballed it the last time. It's at 29 inches, which is not bad. That's right in the range of what they suggest, 28 to 36. I just noticed that my head hits it right here. You hear my head? Does it sound hollow? And I think one of the problems is that the stove, these stoves made here in the Philippines, like this range here, I think it's excuse the stove, it's a mess, but what's this called? What's it called? Germania. It's not very deep front to back. And I think what it is, it's set in so far back, it actually needs to be pulled out more from the wall. So when you're cooking, your head's not, you know, right up here near to this. So look, I scooted out to where it'd be even, and man, that left like 6-8 inches. And see, that feels right. Now you're standing here cooking, you don't have a vent hood right in your forehead. Now from Linda, she don't have that problem, but for me, it's a different case. Well, it's after lunch. Mama's gonna pour some water down in there and wet the bottom, kind of clean everything where it gets slick down those walls, pouring that concrete in. You need something poured down this other column? You already pour it? Okay. I got a ratchet strap pulling right here. Help use to keep a column plumb right there. Good job. The first bucket half went on the ground. Yeah, he's right. 50-50. 50 in the wall and 50 on the floor.
50-50.
There's nothing to hit yet, though.
$150.
The bucket brigade is going again. I can honestly say this is a house that was built one bucket at a time. Been upstairs helping the guys pour concrete. Been up on top helping pass buckets and dump down the walls, and they're doing a new mix now. So I came back down and I started grinding on the walls down here again, getting the surface prep for us to start skim coating. Let me show you here. So right here, like we had an uneven surface, and you see, took this wheel, lay on that grinder, and I tell you, you want to wear a lot of protection. You need to wear good goggles, not just a pair of safety glasses. Good goggles, good respirator, dust mask. I had mine doubled up with a big cloth over my face, cloth over my head, and just protect yourself well with this. And you do not want to be breathing this dust. I'll tell you that right up front. But this here now, I can float this joint with skim coat, just like floating out drywall. I can make a strap from about here to here, float that, sand it, and you'll never see that seam. Also, it just cleans up any slag or anything like that that's ran down. It's on the walls. You can see where I've been doing a little grinding, just lightly rough, going over the little rough areas on it. Here again, you can see all the little aggregate. Some of that might look like air to you, but it's not. That is little dark pieces of aggregate right there. Even there, that's not a hole, that is aggregate. I think some people in the videos is mistaken that, seeing those spots, thinking some of those are air bubbles when they're not. So again, here you can see here where I've exposed the aggregate, ground the surface on this joint to clean it up, prepare it for skim coat. And it doesn't take no time to do that. That's pretty quick work. It's pretty simple. So you can see the difference of how clean that wall there is looking now, where I've went over it and just hit it with that grinder. I mean, no big work or nothing. The biggest work's just holding that heavy thing. And you can see the difference like here versus down this wall here. Well, everybody, it's been another successful work day. We got that big corner poured. That's pretty cool. And tomorrow we have another section that is going to go on down about another, what is that, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 foot. So we're going to build the short wall that the bar is going to be mounted on, and another column poured, and on past that column onto another wall down into the utility room, kind of like pantry. So success, success, success. Excited for it. It's a beautiful evening here. Marvin's about got his boat painted up. He didn't know, he said he didn't know it was going to be this color. He thought he bought on the can the color he bought. He thought it was the same color that the boat was. And when he got here and opened it, it wasn't. And he didn't want to return it. So he was a little shocked with the color. But it's a nice evening, and I'm going to go out here and take a little evening swim, come up, shower, and relax for a while. Appreciate all of you watching the video, supporting us, the great support from all you wonderful people. Just want you to know we really appreciate it.